Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a good time and welcome to another video. The Ken Block car obviously got a lot of interest and we will be doing a hell of a lot more on that, and maybe even later today if we get a chance we'll have a look. And before I forget, which I always do, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave any comments, it does help us. Today, the Rarest 200. So for those who don't know a Group B car, these things look like they were made out of Lego, but there was a reason behind them, and if you know, you know. They were an absolute work of art, and the reason they made them was because to qualify for the WRC Rally Championship, the manufacturer had to make 200 pieces, and this is how these came about. Because to get homologation, they had to make these 200 pieces, sell them, so then they could qualify to race them. So like the Ford RS200, the manufacturers went into making a bespoke car just for racing, and because of that, a lot of the road versions were definitely compromised. All these different manufacturers all shared the same characteristics in their car. It was four-wheel drive, it was a short wheelbase, and all the corners were real close to the edges, so it turned well, which was perfect for the Rally Championship. The Ford version was a totally new car, and it looked like no other car they produced. This was back in 1984, and the Rally Championship then was massive. So they got this car made, but unfortunately they didn't get it to 1986 until it saw the track, just because of the problems they had with production. The prototypes were a bit of a failure to start with, but eventually they brought it out, and the massive problem was, that year, these cars killed a few people, a co-driver and some spectators. So it all changed, and the Group Bs were a thing of the past. They stopped them just when they started to get this thing going well. So all that is a bit of a sad story, especially for you Ford fans. So let's get it a bit more upbeat. Let's start the new year off on a high. Let's get in this thing, hopefully put a smile on your face, and definitely as well as mine. So this thing is a bit noisy. You need a medal just for starting off, because to get it to go is an absolute nightmare. So if you manage to get it to pull away from a junction, you're a hero to start with. For some reason, this is the gearbox. This massive great big lump in the way. I have no idea why they put it there, but if you know, drop a comment. It's absolutely horrific to drive slow, but that's not what it was designed for. It wasn't designed to go down this road, it was designed for a track, and you can really tell. It is 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, and I think the top speed's about 140, but you can tell it's got way too much power. That noise you can hear is a prop shaft. Everything's down the centre, there's no insulation, so you hear every bump, every stone. A proper rally car. That sounds nice. The pedals are in the wrong place. When you hit the accelerator, you hit the brake at the same time. I've got the finished shoes on ever, and it's still no good. You have to have feet like Bambi. Look at the good old British weather. This car has never even seen the light of day. I can't believe how loud it is. It just feels like it wants to go. Off a Sierra, and the rest of it, I'm pretty sure whatever they had left of 200 parts on an old car, it went into this. They'd already spent millions, so the last thing they want to do is spend some more to make it anything special. It was all about this engine, all about going fast, all about winning the World Rally Championship. That's a lot quieter now. Just wanted to point out a few things. So the passenger, he had a lot to do in the rally days, so he's got his own few buttons here, and then obviously he's got his pace notes, and then he's also straps his feet in, which is a bit worrying if I had to strap my feet in. And another really worrying thing is there's 2 fire extinguishers. So I'm guessing when it catches fire, it really catches fire. Like I said, hell of a lot of buttons going on, lots of gauges just to make sure that it's all running right. But I just want to show you what I said about this pedal. There's my throttle, and look how close that is to the brake. No idea what that's all about, but that is crazy. That's really odd that that's the way it's set up, and I can't imagine that being very friendly. And then here's the gearbox, the prop shaft, and then this is the diff I was talking about. So we've got rear wheel drive, we've got open diff and lock diff. You know, that's really rare to see that on a car, and that's also on the road car. It's totally stripped out, obviously no carpets, no door cards. It's even got a brake bias, so that's pretty cool. We use that when I'm racing the buggies, so we can obviously change it from a lot more front brake to back brake. Not much technology going on there. And that's our windows. I'd imagine when it gets hot in here, it gets really hot. So let's take the road car version out, see the differences. Hopefully it's a little bit quieter and a little bit more comfortable. Welcome back to the road version. As you can see, it's a lot quieter. The steering's out of line a little bit, but also the steering wheel, it's on the lap. There's no way of adjusting it. I just tried it, it opened the bonnet, so that's definitely not the steering adjuster. It's very, very clunky, very noisy. Oh, when that turbo comes in, it sounds unbelievable. Obviously I bought them to collect them. Since they're worth so much money, it's real hard to justify going out and risking damaging them. It just feels like a beast. And I suppose that's why they banned them, because of the danger and how fast they were. And obviously this never won, but this really is an experience. I've never driven anything like this at all. The noise it makes. It's a shame I can't get the brake pedal without hitting the throttle. Here we go. When that turbo comes in, it's unbelievable. It changes the car. Well, that's it. It's going to go back in the shed. We've not crashed it, we've not rolled it. Maybe when the summer comes we'll get it up the field. That would be cheeky. So that's it for the test drive. Success. Not many backer cars open like this. Now obviously the point of that was literally so that when they went into service in between the stages, if there was a problem, it was easy to get to the car. But you know when a car means business when it's got 2 lots of suspension in every corner, when one just isn't enough. Even to get to the fuel, you have to fill it up from lifting up the back. In here is a 1.8 litre turbo. Now it's the BPT engine, and the reason I used that was because the standard Cosworth engine in the Sierra, the Sapphire, the Escort just wasn't fast enough. This road car is about 250 brake horsepower, but this engine they could soup up and get to 800, which you see on the Pikes Peak cars. 800 brake horsepower, a ton in weight. That is one fast car. There was obviously 2 mechanics. Could have gone a lot faster if I used some lights and stuff. There we go. Oh, I feel like Eddie Hall. So obviously this is the rally version, a lot different. The size of that turbo is immense. We've got no spare wheel and the exhaust comes out the different side on this, but this is quite interesting. The do's and don'ts of blowing up a car. And then we've got some stats there, and look at the size of those tyres. Looks like a Formula 1 car. Unbelievably, after the millions they spent, these never won a single race. So the best they ever did was 3rd in the World Rally Championship, which obviously isn't too bad. In '86, when they banned them, they'd already made a faster version, a 2.1 litre engine called the Evo for the following year, but obviously that never even got to a track. But it is for sale in the general public now, and they're worth a lot of money. So when they finished in the rallying, there was only one place to go, the Rallycross, because they had no rules there. So it was a closed track and really nobody to crash into and kill. And then what did we get left? We got left the holy grail of a car. You know, because they stopped racing, maybe there's more to look at today. You know, apparently there's about 120 left. And obviously you can see there's two here, a rally and a road version. I think with a lot of these things, it's really disappointing that they never won what they were supposed to be made for. And a lot of these now will be in a collection which will never be seen, which is, to be fair, is what I'd have done if I hadn't got this YouTube channel. You're never going to see these on the road, you're never going to see it down the pub, only probably at a show. But today we got to drive it, and today was a good day. We're back in where these things belong. You can see that, you know, with the lights and the air intakes, this is far from a normal car. Even in today's mad special edition Lamborghini Ferrari days, you know, this is a different level. And if you did smash one up, where are you going to get the parts? You know, a new wing for these, they only ever made 240 years ago. So these aren't going to be on the shelf items. And probably that's why they sort of deserve to be in here. Back in the day, these were 50 grand each. Now that is crazy money. 40 years ago, 50 grand, that's supercar money. And now, what are they worth today? Realistically, these are £250,000. How can you justify one of these going through the hedge backwards? Now that would be a bad day. I've always raced all of my life, whether it's BMX, motocross, cars. So this is why I'm into race cars, rally cars. And the old Fords, you know, it's iconic in England because of where this all came from. When we look at how it's evolved, you know, with this car, the R5, you know, this is what they race in the World Rally Championships today. And then we'll go back to Ken Block RX43. Well, that's one of these, and then blown up with Ken and Hoonigan to a whole different level. This is special, but this thing now is a different level altogether. So let's go and have another look at that special car. Me again. We're at Ken's car. Obviously this was M Sport, so it was originally English. Engine's obviously a lot smaller than the old stuff which we've just been looking at on the RS200, but that turbo, that is absolutely ridiculous. It's huge, and because of that air intake, you know, this thing is absolutely immense. But comment below please, let us know what you want to see next. Ken, if you're watching, where's the bonnet stay? We've got Trigger's Broom holding this up. We have absolutely no idea where it is. Click the notification icon, the bell at the top, so we can meet every Tuesday 10 AM. Until next time.